Hey folks, Connor from Nice Wheels here, and today we're going to review GoCycle's newest, more affordable model, the GoCycle GS. So in this review, we'll go through all of the specs and features on the bike. We'll talk a little bit about how it differs from the GoCycle G3, and most importantly, we'll go into how it rides. So for years, GoCycle has been working on improving their bikes, model after model, just trying to make it the most high-end, most advanced electric bikes that they can possibly make. So now that they've really done that with the G3, they thought they'd bring a lot of the same features on a more affordable price point with the GS. The GS does still bring a lot of the features that the G3 offers. You have those pit stop wheels that are easy to remove, still the same folding design and can still go in that same case, and even has the exact same battery and motor that the G3 have, which is a 300 watt-hour battery, good for up to 50 miles. And then you have a 250 watt nominal motor in the front hub, which peaks at 500 watts. The motor's a very impressive geared motor. It's extremely small in size, but still packs a lot of power for what it is. So it's still going to give you a great climbing and good acceleration, which is something you can still customize on your app, which we'll go into a little bit later. So one of the things that GoCycle has really prided themselves on in their G1, G2, and G3 bikes is having completely hidden and internally routed cables. Well, part of the cost savings on the GS is that you are going to see a few cables. There's really only two that are visible to you. You have one here that's going to be leading to your gear shifting in the back, and then another one connecting up to the motor up front. So they're still very well protected with this durable casing that you have on the outside, but you're going to see a little more than what you're used to on most GoCycles. Another part of the cost savings on the GS is actually this handle post. You'll notice that it's at a fixed height, so it's not adjustable. And you also don't have an LED display on the top. So very minimal information. You would really use your phone as your display on this bike. But this handle post is incredibly stiff, so you're going to get a very responsive ride. It also equates to the more upright of the two riding positions that you would get on the G3. So for most people, it's going to be a pretty comfortable and relaxed ride. So moving on up to the cockpit of the bike, you can see that you still have the same high quality hydraulic disc brakes from GoCycle. This is the same setup that's been carried over from the G3, so plenty of stopping power there. You have your throttle as this little red button instead of that twist shifter on the G3, so it's a little more hidden, a little more out of the way. And then on the other side, you have a mechanical gear shifter over here. This is by Micro Shift. So this is going to shift through your same 3 gears, so you're not going to have any of that automatic shifting that some of the other bikes have, but that's a big part of the cost savings as well, just having a mechanical internal gear hub, which is still hidden and integrated inside the Clean Drive. So going quickly through the dashboard here on the app, again, this is going to basically be your display, is your phone, and you have the phone mounts that come with the bike anyway, so you're all set up to do that right out of the box. You have a couple different readouts here that are interchangeable between a lot of different information, so you can do all of that in your settings. This bar here is pretty interesting. It's essentially gauging how much your legs are doing versus how much the motor is doing. As you can see, we've been using quite a bit of throttle, so that's at 95%. You also have your speed right in the middle here, which is going to be the thing that you're probably going to want to see the most. You have a nice battery indicator here that's an exact percentage, so you really get a good sense of how much life you have left. And if you want to switch through your modes on the fly, you can just kind of tap this button here. You have City mode, City Plus mode, Eco mode, and then whatever your custom modes are, you also have On Demand as well. So when you do want to play around with your custom settings, you have this graph here that'll really let you fine-tune your ride. So when you drag this around, it's going to essentially tell you how many watts that you have to put out with your legs for the motor to put out full power. If you want a more natural feeling bike, you can tune this all the way to the right, and it's going to have a really fluid power curve as you continue to pedal harder. If you just wanted to get going right off the start, you can tune it all the way up here, and it's going to get going at full power right away. This is of course going to drain your battery quite a bit quicker, but if you don't really have a long distance to travel, then this might be a fun way to use the bike. Also, if you go down to advanced settings, you can toggle your top speed, which is limited to 20 miles an hour, and you can toggle this as well if you want to turn your throttle on or off. So the GS is following a trend that is not so unusual to the electric bike industry, and that's with companies making their most top-of-the-line, highest-end bikes first, and then kind of backtracking to make a more affordable version of that. And GoCycle did an excellent job doing that with the GS. They stripped it of a lot of the bells and whistles that are things that were, nice features, they were cool to have, but not absolutely necessary. So when you have the mechanical shifting and no display and a much simpler handle post, it's able to get that bike under that $3,000 mark. This bike comes in at $2,799 and still gets all the same features and benefits that you would get owning a GoCycle G3. It's still the same lightweight of 36 pounds, still folds the exact same way, still has the same great quality wheels and brakes, so a lot of the componentry on the bike is still hitting a great value proposition for the price point that it's offered at. The ride of the GS felt very familiar since I am used to riding the GoCycle G3, and you still have the same power in that motor, and of course the adjustability and fine tuning that you can do on the app is always a great feature to really get it custom to your needs as a rider. The riding position is definitely more upright than I personally would prefer, but I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy the comfortable and relaxed position that the GS is going to offer them. While they do have some exposed cables on the bike, it's still an excellent looking bike, just like all the other ones they've made in the past. Another cool thing the GS offers that none of their other bikes have in the past is a whole lot of color options. So with the mainframe, you can choose between white or gray, and then the clean drive color, you can choose red, black, blue, light blue, and even pink. Overall, the GoCycle GS is still packed with features, still gives the same functionality of the G3, and GoCycle's very unique user experience still applies to this bike just the same. The GS also has the same great ride quality and geometry that the G3 offers and makes it suitable for all kinds of sizes of people. Overall, if you're looking for an e-bike that's portable, lightweight, but doesn't break the bank too much, the GS is going to be the perfect bike for you. Thanks so much for watching our review of the GoCycle GS. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as turn on your notifications to let you know when we release new videos. If you want to see how to fold and disassemble a GoCycle, or see our review on the GoCycle G3, you can click the videos here.